Nia Jax is whooping on Bianca. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Attitude Era podcast. We are live during the main event. You already know what it is. It's Nia Jax taking on Bianca Belair. And Nia Jax looking like she having her way. You know what I'm saying? Look like she having her. Who just ran out? Who's that? Bailey. Man, what Bailey doing out here? You can't show too much WWE TV. You know how they get down. They take your whole joint off YouTube. 450 from Bianca. Bianca beats Nia Jax. Okay. I think they're gonna take Bailey since Jade Cargill. I mean, she just helped you out. What we thinking, y'all in the chat? What we thinking? Um do we think Nia Jax, Bianca should lean towards Bailey? Um Naomi brought it up. Naomi brought it up. Now, hey, in the world of wrestling, whenever someone is laid out in a car and don't nobody know who did it, couple rules to apply before you get Leslie Nielsen to inspect or check. Remember they did that for that SummerSlam? I think it was like 94 or something with Undertaker versus Undertaker. Dude from Naked Gun, you know what I'm saying? What up, Bug? We see you in the chat. Um, I really think either Naomi Bailey as a combo, potentially Naomi Solo, yeah, right? Or it was Bianca that whooped Jade's ass, laid her flat, crossed the top of the joint of the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And the reason I say that is because it's always the ones closest to you. Remember when Shawn Michaels got hit by that car and he was all not the time he got beat up in Syracuse, y'all. We ain't talking about that one. We talking about the time Triple H whooped his ass, and you know what I'm saying? And then they went to SummerSlam and had their match. Um, remember Rikishi? I did it for the Rock. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really feel that Jade ass whooping to open the spot for War Games is going to be what leads to the Bianca because it's also their tag team champs. No timetable for the return. Maybe leading up to the Royal Rumble. She comes back at the Royal Rumble. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Bianca just beat Nia Jax. You know what I'm saying? Naomi did it for The Rock. Yo, Book, that's funny as how she did it for The Rock. You know what I mean? And I can see that. If she said so WWE, 'cause sometimes they gotta, yeah, sometimes they gotta, do what they gotta do. And I think they gotta say that shit. But yeah, Vinny, what up? What up? What up? My cousin Vinny. You give Raw 7.5 out of 10. That's about right. I have it about like 7. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Some of the people I wanted to see, it was a good way to just kind of push forward. Remember, War Games is this week, this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So, as far as being a go home show, I thought it was low. You just made another official match tonight. We got to see Braun Breaker take on, and I ain't got no notes, y'all, so I'm kind of freestyling through the show a little bit of what I remember happening. Sometimes I just can't take notes. I got a lot of stuff going on, which is a good thing, but also sometimes it can affect things. So if I don't cover something, please put it in the chat so I can hit it because you know what I'm saying sometimes I need that reminder. But they made a new match tonight, Braun Breaker versus what up, Andy? See you in the chat. Um versus Ludwig Kaiser, right? And then Sheamus got involved, rightfully so. Let me cost Ludwig and Adam Pearce made a triple threat for Survivor Series. Are y'all happy with that? I am. 2 reasons. One, get Braun Breaker on these big stages. Stop putting these champions on TV. Well, keep them on TV, but get them on these PLEs. If you miss a PLE, you should not miss a second. Like it should not. You know what I'm saying? Because then it just kind of feels like it's devaluing them belts. So I like it. Braun Breaker being on there. Survivor Series. What up? What up? What up?
What up?
Is the one of the four originals, and it's one of the four big pay-per-views. Get Braun Breaker on there versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. Sheamus has skin in the game. It's the only belt he ain't never. Is he gonna do it?
Sheamus never been in the Continental Champ?
Never been. It's the only belt that he hasn't had.
Okay. So, but I'm gonna tell you now, I was touch and go. I was in and out because Mama Carter decided to pop up and pay me a visit, so I had family in town. But I want to give a big round of applause to King HP, everybody, because he's always on time. He always shows up, and he has a lot going on right now. So shout out to King
I
HP.
missed an episode before.
No, I'm just
I think I
saying.
missed.
I'm just saying, man. I'm giving you your
Oh,
flowers and your
hey,
props.
I appreciate it though, because
Because I
trust
know
me,
it's not,
there's some
bro.
that
It's not easy. It's not easy, especially what you
it's
got going
not.
on. You out here saving lives, and I'm working on a new project. Speaking of projects, Good Karma by the Archie Carter streaming now, and you're doing your From recaps this season, big season finale. You got some things in the works, so I just want to say shout out to you for
I was trying
showing
to
up,
secure interviews yesterday during the dinner.
being on time. But yeah, I had some family and time, and shout out to everybody that celebrates this upcoming holiday. We are definitely thankful for y'all tuning in and these recaps and original content and everything. And I'm thankful for everybody that has checked out Good Karma by the Archie Carter, streaming out on all platforms, and HP's
All
Hall Prees
platforms.
Universe. So yeah, we are definitely thankful for y'all. So some things you're gonna mention, it's gonna be new to me because I was in and out. So let's get the raw recap rolling, more rolling
Yeah,
because
yeah.
HP was
I'm
already
we gonna
rolling.
still we gonna still. I'm just asking. So tonight, Adam Pearce announced because it was supposed to be Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. I mean, I'm lying to you versus Braun Breaker, and Sheamus made his presence felt during the match. It was having a. It wasn't as good as Sheamus's and Braun's was. It wasn't as good a match. It was good though. It was good, but
The past few
I
weeks
like.
we've been having the where do we put Randy Orton conversation.
Mm,
Where do
it's
we
always a
put
good one.
Sheamus?
Low.
Low.
I don't say that disrespectfully, but
Sheamus was the face of the company at once upon a time. I think people
at one
really
point he was.
forget how popular Sheamus was. He was the guy.
I also feel like his reign. You know what Big said? Your reign at this top was short like
Short like
leprechauns.
leprechauns.
That window he had, when I compare him to the all-time greats that are going to get a top 10 spot, maybe even top 20, I feel like their reigns were longer.
So we put
And
Sheamus after Randy.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
just a question. I'm
yes,
just, I don't want to go, we go crazy sometimes with these conversations, but
yes. But here's the thing. If he were to capture, so this is why I like Sheamus being in this Survivor Series triple threat for the IC title announced today, knowing Survivor Series this Sunday or Saturday. I'm not sure. It's the 30th. I know that. I don't know. Is Braun going to be the guy who's going to have a lot of short reigns? Because they took it off him to put it on Jey Uso, gave it back.
we have a show called Double Up where we take characters, compare their careers, and a lot of times the cons, when we get into the cons, we say no title reigns or short title reigns. So whether he has them or not, I just think it's going to affect him some type of way. I actually met Sheamus one time. It was WrestleMania 28 in Miami. We
Ooh,
was
Miami?
driving Miami, the 3 second match with Daniel Bryan when he just became champ, right?
Yeah.
We were driving back, me and my uncle driving, because they were in Orlando the next night. It was in Miami, that's in Orlando. So I'm assuming Sheamus, a lot of the guys just was driving up to the next city. So we see this SUV. I ain't gonna say what it was because I don't want to put my man's out. SUV driving on the highway, and this is a nice SUV, real noticeable.
Was it a black Aura SUV? Black Aura. I ain't trying to. I know our podcast chief has it. This is how the seven angles of DNA work. DNA does a podcast with a guy. His name is Goods. If you don't know who Goods is, Google Goods, the animal. He just started a
uh, Car service.
Yeah, a car service. I couldn't get the name, man. That shit, my brain was buffering. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I asked that.
So
Just
we
kind of a
driving on the
plug for.
road, and I noticed this car, but then we end up at the same rest stop, right? It was like a Dunkin' Donuts, then a rest stop. So I see this SUV pull over, and I see this very attractive woman get out. I don't know who this woman was. Could have been somebody with the company. I don't know. Could have just been, could have been another wrestler. I don't know. We didn't get to see the woman, but I saw this real tall guy get out the car, right? And I saw him slap the door, like when he walked in the door. And I was like, what is that, right? So I walk into the rest stop, and it's a WWE sticker. I was like, oh man, that's a superstar. I wonder who that is, right? So I walk in the door, walking out towards me, it was Sheamus. Yep. And that's when I
Hey there,
realized
little fella. Hey,
how big Sheamus was. I don't think people understand how big of a tall, like Sheamus is a huge guy.
he's 6'6", 6'7",
I didn't know
maybe
that.
6'8".
I didn't know that. I'm 6'3",
Yeah, he
and I noticed
and then he's
I noticed
a
how
brolic
big
dude.
Sheamus was because when I met him, I had to look up, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you a big
you don't
guy."
have to look up very often. Yeah,
And Sheamus
I do.
doesn't look it on TV, but when I met him, that's that's what they say about Billy Gunn. They say Billy Gunn is huge. He just
I
doesn't
met
look.
Billy Gunn.
They just don't look it on TV. But Billy Gunn, so. But yeah, that was my meeting with Sheamus. I met Dave Chappelle that same way. They the
Yeah.
same trip in Miami. I was in a Kid Robot store. I was walking in, he walked right out, standing on the sidewalk, smoking a cigarette. So I met Sheamus and Dave Chappelle all in the same weekend.
You know who my daughter's favorite wrestler is? My 6-year-old
You
daughter.
told me she's an ass
Badass
man.
Billy Gunn. Yeah. Badass. She be talking about him every day I pick her up from school. She be like, "Do you think Billy Gunn's gonna wrestle?" I'd be like, "Yeah, in some organizations." Then she always asks, "Can I say his name?" No.
She don't know he wrestles in AEW.
No, they don't, they just know they watch him on wrestling and it's
Oh,
badass Billy Gunn.
badass Billy
And
Gunn.
they're just amazed. They're 6 and 8. So they just like, you hear what he said? So anyway. But yeah, with Sheamus, right? I'm happy Braun Breaker's getting on the PLE because one, the final match has been revealed. There's going to be 5 matches for Survivor Series. All right. So let me go over them real quick.
Okay,
Um, One, everyone knows you got Bloodline War Games, right? CM Punk closed out as the 5th member.
I like it.
Big Bronson Reed is the 5th member for the 2.0 Bloodline. Then you have the women's 5-on-5, right? And that's a whole mess of things. You got Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Raquez Diesel, Nia Jackson, Liv Morgan on one side, right? Bianca, it was supposed to be Jade. She's still on the poster. Rhea, Io Sky, and Naomi on the other. They're looking to replace Jade, looking like Bailey. It's looking like Bailey. Tonight, it just got announced triple threat for the IC title. Sheamus versus Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser, and they already got the little art for it out. You know, then you got, and I'm so happy he's finally back. Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. I'm rooting Shinsuke all the way on that. And then you got Gunther and Damian Priest. Now, what you may be surprised is there's no WWE Championship on here at all whatsoever. Not even at all.
Not
The
even a
champion Cody
match.
Rhodes.
He's not even wrestling.
He's not even wrestling. They already booked him and Kevin Owens for Saturday Night Main Event. And I think that's horrifically trash. But not the match, but the fact that he's missing Survivor Series. Like I don't. Anyway, why is it good for Braun? More eyes. Braun is a star. Sheamus is the guy where now I feel like I don't know who's gonna win this match. Are you gonna give Sheamus what he's never done, or are you gonna give Braun another short streak, or
If it
does
happens, this
Ludwig
is the
Kaiser?
match to do it. Whenever there's a stipulation and your champion doesn't have to lose, that's the time to take the title and off of them. And
Or
then
does Ludwig Kaiser get it?
your champion looks strong and says, "Hey, I never lost my title."
I never lost it. Give me a rematch. Or does Ludwig Kaiser win and then he gets to go back to Imperium and tell Gunther, because Gunther may drop his title, you've lost it. You've lost your edge. For weeks you've been. and he gets to go into that, and then we get that beef. I don't know who's winning that one, so I like it.
Oh
I like
man,
that
they
they did
got you. They did their job.
they did their job.
They did their
They did
job.
their job. So I'm very
I would
happy with
love to
that.
see Braun Breaker on the chase, just tearing shit up, like going
Pissed.
tearing it. Like every time we see him, we gotta get him out of the building because he's tearing up the locker rooms. He's destroying cars. Like damn near Stone Cold S. Because when Stone Cold showed up, you can build Braun like that. Like because he's not huge, but he has it. I don't know how to explain it, but Braun Breaker has it, and
100% agree.
him
100%.
chasing a title would be scary and entertaining, bro.
Very entertaining. Again, every time he come out, instead of the glass break, you go and he just leveling people like
I wouldn't even
20
talk.
miles
That'd
an
just be
hour.
my thing. I beat people up, bark, and leave.
It would work though.
He don't got.
You
He don't
know,
have to talk. He don't have
he
to
don't have
talk.
to. But when he talks, he's good too though. That's another
He doesn't talk
asset.
long. That's why he doesn't have long promos. It's short. It's to the point. Or they're asking him questions. He's not in the ring telling people come to the ring and challenging. No, Braun Breaker. It's no fat. They trimmed the fat with him, and that works for him.
And they did. They did. They did a very good job. They did a very good job. My chair was slipping. I was getting lower
He's
and
one of
lower.
the few guys that would have probably done well in Attitude Era.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Give him a live mic. I mean, his pops was. We always think
Don't
of
give
the
him a
attitude as
line, Mike.
WWE,
Don't
but
just because he's still a Steiner.
is a live mic in a
I
Steiner's
wish they
hands
would
can
start
be.
calling him like the son of the Gremlin or something. Because like I said, Dogface Gremlin is one of the best nicknames ever in any sport. The Dogface Gremlin, that's crazy.
Oh.
Then he could call his
Yo,
fans the Gremlins. The Gremlins. What? The dogs, the Gremlins. Yeah, Dogface Gremlin is crazy. But yeah, that's gonna be a good match. Cause
he
Sheamus,
definitely,
Kaiser, and Braun all work stiff. It's gonna be a lot of cuts and bruises probably.
and that's another reason. I think that match is gonna tear the house down.
And that's
Um,
what Sheamus has been known for since his return. Hard hitting,
Stiff
stiff
matches.
matches.
Yes, facts. I'm going through the WWE so I don't miss something. What do we think about the women's intercontinental title unveiled today?
I think we have to get through the United States one first.
I I'm happy. I've been talking about mid-tier titles. I just don't like women can do their own thing. Like how they got the
I
NXT,
think it might be too much too soon. But what they're doing is they're loading up for Netflix.
they are loading up.
They're loading up for that. We got a women's IC title. We got a women's United States title. We may have the hardcore title coming back. That's a lot of championships.
5 match PLEs is not gonna hold. 6 match, you could bump it up to 6 or 7. 5 is just they've done well though. The problem is for me, you're
We
leaving too many
used to
people out.
get 8 matches in 2 hours.
Shit, me, go back to them blockbusters with Coliseum Video when you used to rent the WWE because you knew you wasn't getting a pay per view. They used to be like 19 match. That shit look like an AEW card. That shit used to be
Triple Mania.
crazy.
Triple Mania lasts 3 days down in Mexico. That should be crazy. Well, yeah, it's gonna be a
Now,
good
yeah,
match. Probably match. Might be match of the night. You got some good talent in that ring.
I agree with you. I think I don't know. The women's intercontinental title was unveiled tonight. Who do you think should be what's up, podcast? What up, Adam? We see you, but we still bro, what are we doing for women's tag titles? Nothing. I like it this way, to be honest, too. And the only reason I like it this way, the women's tag titles, one belt for all shows. They go to NXT and defend it seldomly, but they've done it before. They took on Lash Legend, Jakari Parker.
Jakara Jackson.
Jakari
Well, you didn't mix Jada Parker and that's
Yeah, I was like, that didn't sound right.
hey, that's one hell of a thought.
Then you
you
got
pulled
they went to SmackDown.
a Dragon Ball Z fusion just now.
But here's and Boog, this is why I like the tag team titles the way they are for the women's side versus the men's. Men's There's tag team titles on both shows. The Raw is damn near worthless. New Judgment Day barely ever defends them. They defend
The
them
only
tonight.
beef
We're gonna
I
get to that.
have with tag titles is the WWE. They're not a tag team focused. They never focus on tag teams, and it's not that many legit tag teams. They throw people together and say, "Hey, work together." It's not
Tag
legit
team.
tag teams. And think about the tag teams from back in the day. It was like the NBA. You was in the Cleveland Cavaliers. You retired as a Cavalier. A trade was a big deal back in the day. Somebody going to a different team was a big deal back in the day. Now people play for 1 year and they go. You know what I'm saying? Even with tag teams were like they were locked in.
No,
So,
I 100% agree with you. You
and
had
there's
the
not many
Bushwhackers,
tag
the
teams that's
Beckers.
locked in like that.
One, you gotta have one name. It can't be Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair. It's gotta be like the New Day. You know what I mean? Two, do you have a finisher? Like a tag team finisher.
Bro, the
Like
Rock
the
and Roll
Heart Foundation.
Express, that's
The Doomsday
Ricky
Device.
Morton, they're still wrestling as a tag team today. So I don't know. That's my only thing with the tag team. Now if they would have legit tag teams, and then cool, I would be okay with that. But throwing people together for a little bit, that's my only issue with that. But they do have the talent across all rosters. You can have legit tag teams, and
Legit tag teams.
and
There
they
was
be
one
good.
show focused on tag teams. The other show did like a hardcore thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you go to Raw, there's no tag teams here. You know what I mean? So if somebody came over there from a tag team, they'd be like, "Oh, you one of them tag team wrestlers. You can't carry the weight over here on Raw." But on Raw, I mean on SmackDown, they would like talk like, "Nah, you got to be able to, flip it. Can your teammate blah 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 blah? We don't have a heart." So I
And
wish
it was
they
even
would
it
kind
was
of.
even they would even label people tag team specialists. Like there was
Oh
a
yeah, oh
title
yeah.
like this is a tag team. Like Flair was solo, but you had the Brain Busters. Like you knew Tully and Orm was gonna even it's just not. It's a lot of talent, and I think what they're doing now, introducing these titles, they're shuffling the decks. I think the programming we're gonna see going into Netflix is gonna be totally different than what we see now. So
Facts, facts. Um, well, talking about that, we just talked about the women's title. Person I would like to see win it.
that's interesting.
It is. I want someone to be substantial. I would like to see Natalia win it, but I can't remember if she's on the red brand. I
That
think she's
doesn't
on
matter
blue.
these days. they blur the
They-
lines. I think
Yeah,
I want a legacy act with no disrespect to Natalia, but she is legacy at this point with the because that roster is young and she's been
it is.
around.
But
Wow, either a legacy act or somebody young that can build the thing. So
I would rather see it be a legacy act because of this. When people say who's the first, people could literally they can't name the third, fifth, 18th, but be like, who's the first Intercontinental Champion? They usually people be like Pedro Morales. They can remember that, or they
you
know
know
of that,
what
or
you know
whatever.
what sounds good and people would hate it.
Hmm.
Your first inaugural women's intercontinental champion, Charlotte Flair.
Nope, I hate it.
People would hate it.
Your dad, your dad was so convinced about the world title. He was an Intercontinental Champion at one point, but he wasn't known for that belt. It was a world title. I would really
Natalia would
want
make perfect sense to me. I would love this. I've been saying for a while. I would love to see Natalia get one more title run.
yes, because I feel like Charlotte's going right back into the main title picture. Yo, Cole Burr, yes, I am gonna die. I think I said that too, about Natalia, but he said I'm about to die on that hill. I just, I feel like she's a heart. You know what I'm saying?
The last part, I believe,
Probably so. Her
she's a,
husband, Tyson Kids, I believe they train. They got a wrestling school.
yeah, he's done. He
Um,
just recently said he's done. He's accepted it. But I've known that for a while. I'm a Tyson Kidd fan. But yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, I think I would like to see her win it. Y'all gonna tell me I'm gonna die on the hill? You already did, so it's cool. But if not her, if I have to pick a new person, bring someone up from NXT. Bring somebody like
I don't know. That's a big responsibility. Who's
it
ready for
is.
that?
I would go with somebody, one of three people: Roxanne Perez, Sol Ruka, because Sol Ruka is very captivating. When she hits that main roster, she's going to be an immediate fan favorite. Her wrestling style is something
Her
that
finisher.
fucking Soul,
Her finisher.
yeah,
Just her finisher
it's
alone. Here's my thing. Before you say your third, and this would be my only problem with them bringing in NXT talent up. Chat. How many of y'all really watch NXT, or even would even know who these people are? HP is mentioning. That would be the only disconnect I see with that. A lot of people who watch the red and blue brand don't really watch the yellow,
right.
and they
And the
missing
numbers
out. They
verify
missing.
it.
They missing out. I've been
They're
sad
missing out.
about Chase U all week, man. God damn Ridge Island. But there are many options with the women. You could put it on anybody. You know, people love Jade. That'd be a big responsibility. People love Bianca. You do have your Baileys. You do have your Oscars. You have a lot of people legacy wise. Then you have a lot of
If
young talent.
Asuka came back, I would love to see Asuka win it.
Oscar and
If she can
Shinsuke
go.
back in some title pictures.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Kalani Jordan. So it's funny. I was gonna say Jordan, Jada Parker, but my initial pick was gonna be Kalani Jordan. Vinny,
I
that's
think it's
funny you
going to
say
be
that.
a baby face. Gotta be a baby face.
And Kalani Jordan is your inaugural North
North
American Women's
American.
Champion. And then if she were to do either the Women's US or the Intercontinental, she's gonna be in the history books. You know what I mean? Like this person who does this is going in the history books. I want Kyra Zane to win. She could go and put on a good match. That's another good choice. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Then again, you call it your Intercontinental Championship. You have a lot of talent who's not, who weren't born in America. You mentioned Sol Ruka. That's a whole different demographic. Kyrie saying it's a whole different demo. So, and WWE love tapping into different demos. Again, this Netflix deal, it's gonna be a whole different show. Whole different show.
Jinder Mahal gonna come back and
The modern day
you know
Maharaja.
yeah. I mean,
I like
you're right.
Jinder as
80% of the
champion though.
planet
I ain't
has
gonna
access
hold
to
you. That
Netflix.
was interesting. That was a very interesting time.
Yeah, yeah. So that is what it is. And Vanessa Hudgens was on. Yeah, she was acting like Bianca, doing the hair swirl. People love Bianca Belair. And tonight they had a thing with her and Rhea Ripley face to face arguing about the team captain, getting into it. And I gotta see this. I'm not too hot on Rhea Ripley's big as fuck for no reason. Like
She's
I didn't
not
realize
big though. That's the thing.
she is compared to I thought her and Bianca were about the same
She
size.
just looks really big. She's very deceiving on the eyes. Like she has been bulking up, but she looks tall. Like Rhea Ripley's not big. Like it's weird. It's weird because she's like five
But
six.
but no, not height. Well, shit, I don't know. I can't take the camera. They do camera tricks. A lot of times when they have interview, like if you notice, all the reporters are always women. They're really small women
She
to
knows
make the
how to
wrestlers
work
look
the
bigger.
angles. So, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I want a baby face to win the U.S. belt and a heel to win the IC. I wouldn't be mad at that either. I'd be okay with it. I think for do something with Naomi,
please.
but you know what I'm
Naomi
saying.
left
So
WWE and went and got hot. She was champion. She was champion. Came back and kind of fell back into the role she was when she left.
yeah, absolutely, and that's
It's
a
only because of the talent they have. You gotta. It's Bianca, it's Jade. Again, it's Bailey. Oscar was around. You had Damage Control. You have all this other talent, and she came in hot. She made a great return back. She's won the crowd over. They love the glow. They feel the glow. So her I could see Naomi being U.S. champion.
I could I could very easily too, and holding it down well. I can't say what I'm sipping, but I can say this: if you check out the Hall Priest Universe, there was a review done on it.
Oh, you
Very, very
reviewed
good.
it. Okay.
I reviewed it. I did review it. I'm actually gonna do a whole nother review and going to the bottle signing for with Morris Chestnut, Tay Diggs, and Harold Perrineau.
Oh
So
man.
I'm
Okay, we
definitely
name dropping. Okay. Look, look, look.
yeah.
I got a cup too.
Hey brother,
The brown to keep you down, the white to keep you hype.
but yeah, I think Raquel and Liv as champs is powerful.
Now
I wouldn't
that'd be a
mind
nice
seeing.
picture. If that'd be very Shawn Michaels Diesel-esque. If Raquel won a title,
Yeah,
either
I wouldn't
US or
mind.
Intercontinental, while Liv had that title,
That's exactly how they would.
that'll look good.
Yeah, and she's the heartthrob, really, because she's got Dom. And that's really that. She's like the female Shawn Michaels.
I said it. It just looks that way.
I didn't really. I mean, you did say it, and you make the jokes about Raquel Diesel and Liv Michaels, but they could pull it off, and they could literally pull it off, and it won't feel like a scam, like we're just recreating history for no reason. Like, yeah, it'll look legit. Raquel has good size. Heartbreak Liv is crazy.
Heartbreak Liv.
Heartbreak Liv. That needs to be hashtag.
And
Vinny is the man of the pitch,
Big
y'all.
Mama Cool. Heartbreak Liv.
Big
Come
Mama
on.
Cool. Oh man.
It
Big
writes
Mama Cool
itself.
and Heartbreak Liv. I love it.
I was in
I
one of
love
my
it.
wrestling groups today on Facebook, and I saw y'all saying "Fragile Phil." Y'all know y'all heard that. So,
I know where we heard it, so they
but
can't fool me.
that would be interesting. We're gonna see. Hopefully, it's people who have the titles and make the titles worth something. Because that first champion, that's important. It's
Oh
important.
yeah. They set the tone.
John Cena got the
That's a lot of
U.S.
pressure
title
too.
hot, bro. Think about that.
Who?
John Cena, he got the U.S. title hot. People were tuning in for the challenge, U.S. Open
Won the
Challenge.
challenge. That's where I first seen was Sami Zayn in the WWE ring, not on NXT. Kevin Owens, not in NXT. Like they came
And
up
that's how
and
you get the
showed out.
eyes on the other product. Okay, this you coming up from NXT. Okay, I'll give you a shot. So very interesting. It's just it feels like we're going into this Netflix thing is starting to feel like something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of going into Netflix, tag team, we were talking about tag team titles. There was a tag team title defense tonight, New Day, Damian Priest, JD McDonough taking on, I'm about to call him the wrong name. The warlord, the war Vikings, the Viking lords, the war, whatever. JD and Finn walk away. It basically becomes a 4-on-2 match. I mean, that's really what it is. A lot of animosity. The Judgment Day feels like it's breaking. I would love to see Dom roll out with Raquel and Liv and just let that group be. Like that's the coolest group in WWE right now outside the Bloodline. JD, Finn, and Carlito could be a little group, but they ain't really. I don't think anyone really cares about. Now Finn can make them relevant. Finn still has enough power, enough mic skill, and enough good years in his physically that I think he can make them relevant. They just go around and they beat people that they use the Freebird rule and they switch who's going to defend those titles, and it's always this weird advantage, and it's going to take a 3-man team. Maybe it's going to be the Authors of Pain with carrying Cross that could take them out. Maybe it's it opens the door for some shit. I don't know, but hopefully they do something. But the Judgment Day wins. I don't know if I'm cool with the Warlord Viking people losing. I don't.
Wait.
They have a rough and rugged style.
And you
They
know
are a
what I'm about
straight
to
tag
say.
team.
You know what I'm about.
Hmm.
You know what one of my biggest complaints. They just made a return. Why are you stepping on the return? Why are you losing? Nobody looked strong in the WWE, really. You win one week, you lose. It's
This is the Cody Rhodes problem. It's so hard to find him an opponent because your opponent should look strong coming into a match with the world champion,
and the
to where
War
you feel
Raiders
the
are
world
really
champion.
good. Like they wrestle, they have a really good style. They move well. And I'm saying Eric just came back from injury. Like they shouldn't be losing
I agree with you,
to the
hundred
Judgment
percent.
Day. Who it doesn't matter if they win, lose, or even show up at this point.
Yo, Vinny, thank you. I'd rather Alpha Academy. No, no. I don't agree with you, Vinny. I got confused. You said I'd rather put the tag team belts on Alpha Academy, and I was quick because in my mind I thought of American Made, and when
Oh,
we
you talking
talk
about
about those,
Otis and Tozawa?
yeah. I'm like, no, not that. American Made, who picked up a victory tonight over the LWO.
They need something because Chad Gables had a hell of a year. They went into the Y6 thing. They
Yeah,
and the Creed brothers are really good. That's the thing. The
yeah.
Creed brothers really good.
An American Made, if they go, and now here's the thing, because Liv, Dom, and all them, they're kind of not really focused on the Judgment Day, but they are, but they're not, right? So you got JD, Carlito, and Finn, right? That's their real core nucleus of that tag team picture. American Made does have a third guy, so you can't just go and cheat and think it's gonna be okay. Chad Gable get to smacking that motherfucker. What did I tell you? They get to going out there and winning and beating the shit out of people, and they're hot. They can do something with those tag team belts. Chad Gable, what did I tell you? That's how we win. And if you really want to spice it up, because you got Liv and Raquel, then you also have Ivy Nile that can battle one of them girls. Okay, you want to get in the mix? You want to put your hands on my peoples? And Chad Gable, he ain't gonna smack her. That'd be crazy. But he'll smack Buddy.
This ain't
What I
ECW.
tell you? And he this yo and he Attitude Era, he might have would have did it. But in, in this era, you
Hey, they
can't go
had the they
around
had the
smacking
Kiss
them.
My Feet Club, the Kiss My Ass Club, the they had all kind of stuff in
American Made could have
Attitude.
the tag IC and the women's IC if they were booked right. And Marley, I hunt do it. That group is damn near over. They lost to the Wyatts and are hotter than the Wyatts.
Chad Gable, bro. Chad Gable is important. And
Yes.
give them the Kurt Angle rub. Why not?
Why not? If you
And
got Kurt Angle
it
to a
doesn't
Legends
even have to
contract,
be it doesn't even have to be Kurt in ring. It could be like Kurt teaching somebody how to do the ankle lock. It's something real subtle. Like, yeah, you got it. That's how you do it. You've learned it. You've mastered the three I's: intensity, integrity, and just promo. Boom, Kurt. Why not?
you know it's funny when you say that? I would like to see Chad Gable feel like we're all champions now. I got to defend my belt. I got a guy that can teach us because I can't teach and defend, and then you guys are defending and learn. We're at a new level. I got to bring in some help, and that's where he brings in Kurt Angle because it just works. Dun.
They already do it
It
though. They already do it for Chad
perfectly
Gable.
goes, and
Or
and
or Kurt could just do a ceremony where he give them their own Kurt Angle gold medals.
yes,
You guys have
and
earned it. I've been watching, and
I
you've
want to see.
mastered. And
I want to
then
see it. I want to see it. Put him on a podium. Chad Gable win the Intercontinental Champion from Braun Breaker or Sheamus or
and
whoever it
Kurt
is.
just there, just presenting a championship. It doesn't take much, but
Yeah, don't let the ref hand it to him. Get off of that. You don't have the right. You're not to touch gold. Boom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah. Hey,
and people would love him or hate him. That's the sign, the cosign. Because Chad Gables had a great year. He put on some bangers with Gunther. He was in a hunt for some gold. He had a story within his own faction. Chad Gables had a great year.
he's even switched factions.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
was part of the
remained every
Y6
faction.
story. Like Chad Gable has done a lot this year.
Yeah. And it's funny. Where do you see the Wyatts going for gold? I don't even see the Wyatts getting on TV much.
Mm.
Like we have to start there. The Wyatts aren't even being thought about. They're an afterthought. Remember, they came week after week. We got more promo on a consistent basis than we get the Wyatts on a consistent basis. Every week we got some sort of weird promo QR code thing pop up,
When it came
and
out,
they killed the locker.
I said I give it 3 months. I was being a hater. I said the bill was too slow. I was being a hater. I said the Whataburger thing shouldn't have happened. They should have protected the gimmick. They protected the Undertaker for 30 years. Y'all could protect the Y6 for 2 more weeks. Like, and now we see that I don't think there's a direction for it.
No. Here's a perfect thing. We talked about this in the past episode. I want to reiterate it. You have war games, 5-on-5.
Perfect.
You got a 5-man team. He could have issued out a challenge. If any 5 beat us, we'll leave the WWE tonight.
Or they could have just took the 5 that they massacred when they showed up and say, "Hey, we want our revenge." Like, yeah, we all showed up because there was a bunch of people they laid out.
Imagine Final Testament, which is 3 people, going with, or American Made has 3 plus Ivy Nile. They need 1 more.
Well, they
They
wouldn't
would
do
need.
women. They wouldn't do intergender in a war game.
I think they can figure a way to do it. Like, let's just make this one special.
I don't think you can. Too many bodies in the ring, and eventually a man and
Oh
woman
yeah.
gonna cross paths. Yeah, you could do Final Testament in 2 people, or you can do American Made in 2 people. It's war games. It don't have to make sense. Clearly, it
It
doesn't
doesn't
have to
have
make
to.
sense.
But you got CM Punk with the bloodline. You got
But
Bronson
that
Reed.
makes
Yeah.
sense. That even makes a little sense. But we think about Survivor Series where we would normally get teams that would never normally team together. And that could be the beef for one team. I don't like you. I don't like you. You don't like me, but we both don't like them. So we got to at least be teams for 1 week. Then we could get back to hating each other.
Yeah. And you can make that the theme. I remember the year Ahmed Johnson was in it with Shawn Michaels, his world champ. They made some weird team like Sid, Ahmed, Shawn, and like
The
British
Brooklyn
Bulldog,
Brawler.
Nick on. Yeah, like they purposely made a team that would be like not clicking on both sides of the fence. Um, yeah, the Wyatts versus Yo Vinny, they could do it. Final Testament, American Made versus. I just want to see the Wyatts solo, though. Like the Wyatts, and that's it. But they didn't give us the Wyatts on Bad Blood, which is the Halloween pay per view.
I
You
said
didn't have
that.
them go down to NXT for Halloween Havoc and wreak havoc. And if you say, well, that doesn't make any sense, that's dumb. Didn't we watch the Bloodline go back to NXT and just wreak havoc 1 week?
But it does make
What was the
sense
point?
when you have certain people down there. It makes perfect sense. It's just they aren't. I don't know where you go with the YSX.
Yeah, it's running out of steam real quick. I like Dexter Loomis's look. I think he could do it, but it's not working for me. It's not working for me. And they still have they done a pay per view yet? Have they done a PLE?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They haven't done a PLE. They weren't on SummerSlam. They weren't on Bad
They
Blood. They
don't
weren't
do
on.
Monday Night Raws. Why would they do PLEs? They don't do the things.
They tripping. They tripping for real, for real.
I would even have had them maybe touch with the Judgment Day a little bit. You know why? Because then we could bring the demon back.
Right. Whew. I would like to see it, but
I don't know. And Y6, it had potential. I think they started too slow with it, rolled it out, then was like, it's kind of like Cody. What do we do next with this?
yeah. What do you do next? Yo, what up, Polo or 24 Ride 24? We see you on Instagram. Yeah, we got a chance to look at. We were actually just talking about that women's IC title. You definitely check out the playback on this on YouTube because Instagram. Once you do the live, it's over. It's like you
Yeah,
can't watch it. So
we
definitely check
live
us
on
out.
YouTube. So swing by YouTube, subscribe to that notification
Yeah.
button, and whatever you miss, you ain't gotta miss it. Yeah, you ain't gotta miss it, dog. We do
Bro,
appreciate you tuning in on Instagram though. So shout out to Instagram and
yeah,
Twitter. X, whatever you want to call it. It's still Twitter to me, just like it's still pay-per-views. I would never get used to PLE.
It's X if you're nasty.
X if you're nasty.
But just as a reminder, there's going to be another return. We got returns. We talk about returns. Double ups are going to be coming back to the attitude. They didn't really go away. It was just timing issues, and you notice
Our
they just
tag
kind of
team partner been busy, man. So,
yes. We got some stuff, and
but it's like
hey,
12. It's like 12 episodes you can go watch. So if you don't know what Double Up is, it's a series we have where we take one wrestler and compare what they did with the different characters and gimmicks. First episode was which character was better, Scott Hall versus Razor Ramon. We take 1 minute and argue pros, 1 minute argue cons, and at the end we take a vote and say this person's wins and this is the name that was better. So we did Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan. We did a triple threat, X Pac, 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Six. We did World Strongest
Kevin
Man
Nash
versus
versus
Sex with
Diesel.
Chocolate, Kevin Nash versus Diesel, Lex Luger. We did Lex Luger. We did Lex
Yeah, we
Luger.
did Lex Luger.
We did the Three Faces of
King
Foley. So yeah,
King Booker versus Booker T.
and Booker T's actually on that episode telling us who he thought,
Yes.
which was his favorite character. So yeah, Double Up is a great fun series, and it's not
We
coming
did
back.
Psycho Sid versus
We
Sid
got new
Vicious.
episodes coming. That's all.
We did Psycho Sid versus Sid Vicious, and Sid gave his opinion before you know what I'm saying, of what his
I think
it's
when
in
we
that
bring
double
it
up.
back, we should do DX versus NWO. Why not? Why not? You heard it here first. DX versus NWO. I'm saying it.
We about to break the norm.
I'm
They
saying
yo,
it. So go check out the old
bet,
double ups. And yeah, it's a lot of content on
bet,
here. Outside of recaps,
bet.
we do a lot of content.
Oh, NWO versus DX. I'm excited. I'm excited. That just got me kind of excited. But yeah, I definitely want to bring that up. But do you hold on 1 second? Do you think that when Paul turns on Roman, all of his momentum is gone, or is it build up for a bigger connection to Roman?
I think what's going to
I
happen, I think Roman Reigns is going to be left by himself at some point. And we're going to see this. We're going to see Roman like we've never seen. I would have Roman raggedy. I would have him like Hancock, not shaved, just in a
don't
bad
shade.
spot, just bad, down bad. Then eventually he makes this triumphant, crazy return to glory because Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso got something going on. Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa got something going on. They both had
I
the
think
red rags in their pockets. Paul Heyman was winking at Jimmy Uso. It's something. It's little things going on. I think Roman's going to be left by himself at some point, and he's just going to have
yeah.
to go crazy and just go on a revenge tour and get everybody. Everybody can get it.
Vinny said, "What's your favorite Survivor Series of all time?"
That's a lot to think of right now. We're gonna have that answer when we drop these predictions. So I'm gonna go ahead to
Yeah,
watch some.
I got some. I got this. I
I
can
don't
answer
know, but
this.
Coco Beware was in it,
I, I can tell you my favorite
bro.
Survivor
Coco Beware
Series
and
team.
Owen Hart was a tag team. That's crazy.
Yes, the New Heart Foundation, I believe they
Rest
were
in peace
called.
to Owen Hart, man. One of my favorite. I think Owen was a little bit better than Brat, but hey, you know what I'm saying.
And I'll say this: I don't have a favorite Survivor Series of all time that I can think of off the top of my head. I do have a favorite team of all time, and I don't think anyone's beating it. And that was the Warriors. It was the Ultimate Warrior, who was the current at time WWF champion, Kerry Von Erich, who was the Texas Tornado, also known as the modern day Warrior, but he was the in at time Intercontinental champion. Then you had
I got a
the
question for you
Road
and for the
Warriors,
chat when you're done with this.
bet, and then you got the Road Warriors on that team. They fought against the perfect team. I can't remember who was on the perfect team, but that Ultimate Warrior team was crazy to me. Like at that time, I was like, "Yo, I knew Texas Tornado was gonna go for the world title, but he ended up dying, passing away. And then you had the Road Warriors, which was like the best tag team. What
Oh,
a rush! Like I don't think there's a team. If you tell me a team that can beat them, you're gonna have to mention the DX team that was like the Hardys, Shawn, Triple H, and CM Punk. That's the only team feasibly off the top of my head I
It
can
was some
think of.
bad Survivor Series team too. Now it was some weird Savio Vega and Max Moon type stuff going on. So no disrespect to Savio Vega. We actually have an interview with Savio Vega here on that Twitter podcast. So
But we
we've
ain't got
interviewed
one with Max
everybody.
Moon.
We've interviewed everybody. Yeah, it's been some
Savio
weird
Vega. Savio
teams.
Vega was good.
Been some weird Survivor Series teams. So, but no, I was gonna ask you. You mentioned Kerry Von Erich. Who, in your opinion, was the biggest territory wrestler? Like the biggest, the draw.
Wow. I mean, in my mind, it pops up Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry.
But
I was gonna say
if I,
Jerry or Rick, because I know it's kind of regional to where you grew up. Because we grew up without the internet, bro. If you
yeah,
didn't see it, I didn't know
we,
if it wasn't in the pro wrestling magazine when my mom was in Winn
Pro
Dixie
Wrestling
and I was at the.
Illustrated.
It was two things I was looking at: the pro wrestling magazine and the video game magazine that had the cheat codes in the back. I used to be trying to remember cheat codes.
Hey,
So
and my uncle getting Jet Magazine, page 46.
hey, Jet Beauty of the Week made plenty of boys smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jerry or Rick. Jerry or Laura, because the guys in the territories were superstars.
Superstars.
Dusty
Greg the Hammer
Rhodes,
Valentine, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, Junkyard Dog. People
JYD,
think these guys were trash. Dusty Rhodes, Kurt Hennig. All these guys were world champions in their territories. Greg Gang, Nick, shit. He was the AWA, the champion that Kurt Hennig beat.
not
Like,
Bockwinkel, huh?
but yes, thank you,
Nick
thank you,
Bockwinkel.
thank you, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Nick
Come on,
Bockwinkel,
bro. I
like,
know a little something. That's like my man.
yeah, like
Who my man? Who used to do the crossface chicken wing? Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund. Like people think because once you get to WWE and WWE, Roddy Piper. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince did some wild shit going to different territories and taking stars like that.
Vince bought, but he bought you buy your competition, and I didn't know that was the unwritten rule.
Oh, go yeah.
Stay in your
That's why
lane.
no one can take wrestling to a different like to the next level because and they was gonna fuck you up. Wrestling is like no hold like I'll break your leg like oh shit.
Who's my man that died in Puerto Rico? He got stabbed.
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody, Magnum TA. Like these dudes were like rock stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but Lawler is up there. Lawler
Lawler
was the
has
man.
like 30 world titles. And when people say that's why again, I don't the Ric Flair, yeah, he's a legend. What makes his 16 count more than anybody else's? When he's got some of the same titles in the company, no one's ever said how many times world champion Dusty Rhodes is. But think about who one of his number one rivals was Dusty Rhodes. Ric Flair's number one. So why are we not saying Dusty Rhodes is a 5-time world champion? Right? That's why it's like, man, be careful about the shit we promote and propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Not taking anything away from Ric Flair, but if we're not going to accredit all these people who have died and we don't accredit them being world champions when they went into the Hall of Fame posthumously or whatever, it pisses me off a little bit. It does. Now, if they say it, Rick gets all his 16. This is why John Cena should be 17 so they can shut the fuck up about Ric Flair. Ric Flair only won 2 WWE
And
titles.
that's the
That's
bottom
it.
line, because HB said so.
Yeah. Let John Cena go get 17. He's the new definitive leader in world titles, and we don't count it. Anybody else's because that's how we do business. But a real wrestling fan does, and they're gonna say Jerry King Lawler is a 32-time champion. He beat The Rock before The Rock came to WWE as Flex Cabana. Fuck is we talking about, man? But that Ric Flair, and it's not even
Flex
that Ric Flair
Cabana
ever
might be worse than terrorizing. They or
is
Sexton
it.
Hardcastle. What the Sexton Hardcastle?
I don't think Flex Cabana is that bad.
Flex Cabana is a terrible wrestling name.
Is it? All right, well, fuck it. If Archie's the greatest heel in wrestling podcast today. If he said it's that bad, bro.
Flex Cabana?
That was The Rock. Yo, that was Rocky Maivia before he came to WWE. Um, I do want to. Oh shit! Tony Atlas was a territory guy before he went to WWE, right? Yes. Flex is
And
worse than Isaac
his
Yankem.
partner. Who was his partner?
Yo, why you say Flex is worse than Isaac Yankem, bro? Isaac Yankem is not that bad of a name. Isaac Yankem,
It
BDS.
made sense with the gimmick. Like, who was Tony Atlas' partner? Uh, can't think of his name right now.
Yo, I've been sipping. So only thing I can think of right now when you say Tony Atlas is Saba Simba and how Roddy Piper called that shit out on live TV and Vince tried to like make him chill. That's one of the greatest. Roddy Piper was putting on for black people for like 3 minutes, y'all. He really was. He was like, Vince Man thought we wouldn't recognize. He was like, Saba Simba from the part of Africa, blah 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 blah. And Roddy Piper was like, "That ain't no Saba Simba. That's Tony Atlas."
It was Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson. My bad. Yeah, Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson.
Yeah.
And then we didn't even
Hey,
mention
Kenny,
the.
I'm not gonna say what I'm sipping because we don't do pay. You know what I'm saying, pay promotion. But if you go to my channel, Hall Prezi Universe, you can see right there. Just type on YouTube. Go watch the last episode of my lives from. You'll see what I'm sipping. I show the bottle. I show everything. It's very
You'll see
smooth.
where he got it from.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah,
So
territory
on this channel, I
wrestling was
can't do the.
good, man. Yeah, Mid South, you had Smoky Mountain, it was a lot, bro. It was a lot. It was different times, different times. So, but Survivor Series, how we feel about the card, War
I
Games.
think the card's gonna be. Let me go back to it. I got a picture of it. I actually, even though Cody's not on it, and I'm not a Cody fan like that. I respect where respect's due. However, when your WWE champion is not on one of the premier pay per views, to me that bothers me.
Do we
He's
know
sipping
what
Uncle
Jay
Paulie.
Cargill's injury is?
Yeah, yeah. They said a bunch of bullshit. They said like 8, 9 injuries. I'm not sipping Uncle
No, what is
Paulie.
the legit injury? Because I heard it was
Oh, I
a
don't know.
real injury that has her out.
I don't know. But the card, how we feeling about Survivor Series? I feel good. I'm only really like off the chain looking forward to War Games, male bloodline shit, right? I also think that we can get a Paul Bearer type of turn on Roman Reigns from CM Punk. When he first came back, he made a promo to Roman Reigns about don't forget who's the original Paul Heyman guy. Yeah, before you, he was my wise man. Like that shit was
Yeah, they were in the
crazy.
ring saying that he's my wise man. That's my wise man. So
Yeah, so yeah, I didn't know I needed a Roman Reigns CM Punk feud, but the fuck if I give it to me. Um, Another match I'm looking for is that triple threat: Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, Braun Breaker. They're gonna tear the fucking house down. Shinsuke and LA Knight. I'm on the fence about it. I think it's gonna be really good, or it won't, or just it'll be shit. I think it's
I
just
want to see a squash. I want Shinsuke to knee him in the head, take that title, and walk away. I
okay.
want to,
I'm with you. If that happens, I'm happy as fuck for Shinsuke.
because I want to see an angry, aggressive Shinsuke, and that's the only way you can do it. Make him angry, aggressive, turn up, and he just say good night, LA Knight, good night, and take his title and walk away.
Shit. What up, Zell? You said we don't need it. What don't we need? Mainstays Saint Zell is in the building. Carmelo might interfere with that match. If Carmelo interferes in the LA Knight match at this point, WWE has lost all control
Yeah, because Carmelo was
because
just
there's no.
beefing with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, like you already finished your 7 matches with Andrade and LA Knight and all that shit. Like, don't you ever bring that back for a
I
while.
think this car has
Um,
so many. This is the only one-on-one match. No, Priest and
Gunther and Damian Priest.
So yeah, don't everything don't need an extra man or interference. We still need some
Plus,
one-on-one
Cody
wrestling.
versus Carmelo is going to be this SmackDown, I believe it is. They're wrestling the SmackDown because they got it. And then Cody brings up the draft. He was like, "Let's see if you're number one draft picking."
Because you
Ain't
need
no
to
one ever.
reevaluate your number one draft pick or something.
Yeah, like when you say that after all that, like Cody, what are you paying attention? Don't nobody give a fuck about that. And I'm
People
and it's not
forgot that
shown.
that Carmelo was the #1 draft pick.
Yeah, but we've gone away from that because no one's talking about the draft. It's irrelevant. People are like you said, people are just swapping brands.
It's one big brand. So
And you don't bring. Let's reevaluate your #1 draft pick. You should
I
have
do believe we're
reevaluated
gonna
that.
get a ton of spots in that women's match. We're gonna get a lot of spots.
Oh yeah,
And we're going
yeah.
to get a tsunami from top of the cage. I put money on that.
Oh, excuse me. Jacob Fatu versus main event Jey Uso this Friday night on SmackDown for the advantage match for that. Now Bianca has the advantage for her team because she defeated Nia Jax. I'm not so smooth. I'm not too. I don't like champions losing all the time. Now Jade versus Naomi, Jade versus Nia is a big match. I'm okay with Bianca winning. However, what's that say about your champion? She lost to Naomi on TV. She like she's lost more matches than she's won on TV.
She's a heel. I don't think it matters with heels.
And damn near don't, but it's like you're also not as good as we like. You're showing us you're not as good.
I believe the WWE knows that the general fan base doesn't like Nia Jax. So we keep the title on her, but she'll lose. That way, both everybody's happy. Because she is queen of the
That's
ring
the
and,
consistency.
and your champion, so you can't take that away from her. But
You got some agreement on Instagram. Polo Rise said that'll be the best look for Shinsuke. I believe he's talking about that squash.
just
I
not
didn't know
kick his
if he
head
squashes
off.
him. I'm cool with it.
Kick his head off, and then we can. I'll take it. But yeah, that's this is another gripe of mine with these PLEs. 5 matches. Every match don't have to be 25, 30 minutes. We don't. It doesn't have to be that. They stretch a
I
lot of
agree.
stuff these days. So I'm excited about it. We will be dropping predictions. You got anything else, HP?
I don't. I got to make phone calls. Hey, tap into Hall Priest Universe as well. We just covered from. If you got a show that you watch, drop that shit because I might be coming to cover that. And I like to we will be doing a in-depth analysis of The Walking Dead versus the From. Can the From universe survive in The Walking Dead? Can Walking Dead survive in From? I'm switching them up, and we will do
Yeah, yeah.
that.
That's
And
interesting.
that starts this Sunday.
What you need to do
On
is a
Hall.
main character draft.
So it's. I don't want to say anything. It's gonna be very. I don't want to say anything because it's crazy. And when you see how it works out, it's going to be similar because when you go over, I got to do a comparison from episode 1. Rick wakes up
I'm
in
talking
a
about
coma.
characters. Who you think survives? Like who? My #1 draft pick? Shoo. I don't know.
I should do a music album review on the Kendrick joint. It's just hard on YouTube because I can't play the music for more than like
Don't get me
it
started
varies for
on that.
different artists and shit too.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to get you know what I mean? So I would love to do music album reviews. But when you can't play the music a little bit, it takes away.
Bro, they
Um
will flag us, and yeah, we've been
Now, I
flagged.
do have a series with my son coming, 5 on 5, where I gave him 5 albums to listen to, and he rates them, and he gave me 5 albums to listen to, and I rate them. And it's very different because we're generations apart. I'm born in '82. He's born in 2005. So just imagine the influence. You know what I'm saying? And the music I gave to him, I picked one of the best years in hip hop. I'm from Jersey. I
Your
picked
son don't
1994.
care about Ja Rule the Damager.
No, but Jeru the Damager. Let's get that sunrise in the east, but still set to the west. Yo, we can get it. But
What's your favorite
he don't
rap album
deserve
of
to
all
get.
time?
What's the greatest?
Your favorite.
Oh, my favorite. Okay. My favorite rap album of all time.
What's the
Wow.
rap album
I
you
might
think you've listened to the most in your life?
Tupac All Eyes on Me, and I might say that is my favorite.
Mm.
I listened to it the other day. Like I listen to it all the time.
It's AT Aliens for me.
I think a
Outcast.
lot of
Second
things.
album is
So when you get people, when you do time period pieces, right? You got to be careful because people are like, why don't you give him Machiavelli? He don't deserve Machiavelli yet. He ain't even heard Apocalypse Now, so he hasn't heard the growth. Two, he has to understand where music came from. If I give him 1997 music and he hasn't heard 1992,
Well, that's the biggest thing with a
1993,
lot of people now with music. Like you might come in, your first Jay-Z album might been Magna Carta Holy Grail, which is not a great entry point to Jay-Z. It could have been Kingdom Come, but Reasonable Doubt exists. So people's entry points to music is important. So
and
you might
and
hear
and going
somebody's
back to you,
not best album and then base their
96.
whole career on that.
So as music evolves, right? This is why I picked a year for him. 93 or 94, I'm sorry. So he got the Wu-Tang first album, he got Nas's first album, he got the Biggie album, right? These are all 94 records that were either dropped in late 93, like the last quarter, or they dropped in 94. I could have given Ill and Out Scratch. Where are my homies? Creeping through the like I'm a hip hop head. So I'm gonna listen to bars. I don't give a fuck about the beat. Southern rap typically defies that, right? When I hear
Into the
people talk about
36
listen to the
Chambers is
first,
an interesting album to get to your child.
yeah, but he's gotta have it.
93
Protect your
Until
neck.
is one of my favorite records. I know it's not Wu-Tang, but this is how we chill from 93 until.
No, none of
Yeah.
I have a playlist called West Coast Bangers. I have a playlist called East Coast Bangers. I have one for Midwest Bangers. Which region has the most like classic album hits, like hits that people recognize immediately? I want to say it's the West Coast, bro. The West Coast, and I'm an East Coast dude. I'm a Jersey Nick, like all day. But when you la 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 la, it's the
Yeah,
motherfucking
but that's the one
D-Dog.
that's and you gotta think though, that's like one camp, and a lot of that stuff was on one the same albums. So it's not spread out.
Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style is the original Get Rich or Die Trying. It did what that did in
I
'93.
say the Chronic and Chronic 2001 are like one A,
They're
one
amazing.
B. One A, one B. So yeah, we can talk. We always take a left, but yeah, that's
We always
interesting.
take it left. And yo, we still got just as many viewers, so I think people trying to take it. DMX, I have a hard time listening to DMX right now because I heard a bar. As much as I listen to DMX shit, yeah, I don't understand how I never heard this bar before from this nigga. And this man said he rapes people. He rapes men.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I heard it, I'm like, wait, he's like, no, no, no.
DMX said a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Lot of
he be
stuff.
wilding. But like,
So that would make you not listen to X no more?
it almost do. Like, bro,
What about artistic freedom?
nah, bro. I listened to DMX
Biggie
first
said you
3 albums
so
because he
fine that
says it on his 4th
your
album.
daddy.
He says it on his
Biggie said
4th
some
album.
Biggie had a lot of questionable lines too.
Nah, but you rape men is straight up.
I mean,
It don't get more shit. You look so good. I was so. It doesn't mean that he did it. It just means he's confused right now. Because there's no reason for you to do
it
that,
could
my
have
guy.
meant many things. You know, I could have been, like raping you
Nah, my
records.
man said,
I'm,
"Let me go get the ball. Let me
I'm
go
trying
get the
to
ball."
defend DMX. I'm trying to defend you, Earl.
No, I listened to the first 3. So here's the issues. If 50 Cent dies before his second album
The
comes
only thing
out,
about DMX's catalog, a lot of his production, he saved Swiss Beats. A lot of his production didn't age well.
mhm, I don't think Swiss Beats music aged well because he has a distinct sound, and it was great for that time. However,
X helped that. I saw a post. It was like,
yo, Zell, time out. It's a big difference between combat sports and rapping where you vibe and you like, yeah, I fucks with the nigga. And the nigga's like, yeah, right, man. And you be like, yeah, I fuck. Like, you do what? My nigga. So it's DMX's 4th album that he says it. Um, so I listened to the first 3 all day because
what's
those
that
are his
like,
best 3
Grand
albums.
Champ or something like that?
Grand Champs, yeah. Yeah. That song with him and 50 is hard as fuck. Him, 50 and Style and shit. Was it
I'm about
Styles
to ask you
too?
this question, then we're gonna get up out of here.
Go ahead.
Who had the best mixtape run?
50 Cent. It's
I,
not even a question.
yeah,
It
50.
launched him into a fucking stratosphere that can never be caught. People always give credit Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne had the top. Give
No,
me
Wayne.
25
Hey,
songs, man.
for
Wayne. Wayne might be number 2 though, to be honest with you.
Wayne's
Because Wayne's
mixtape run
mixtape,
was
that lineup was
crazy.
like
50 might have had the
no
best.
ceilings.
I think Jeezy had like the most impactful though. Trapper die?
Nah, I think the ultimate mixtape dude is gonna be 50 Cent. It's never gonna be replicated. It
Well,
launched him
you
into
gotta think. We and see this is a regional thing. I'm from Louisiana. I'm in the South. I saw this happening. You from Jersey. You saw that happening. So we have and in the South, mixtapes wasn't a big thing till we started getting Gangsta Grills and Southern Smoke and affiliates and Drama and Cannon and all them made it a
right,
thing.
right.
Before
That's what
then, we was making mixtapes on LimeWire. How many computers I broke? Y'all know about LimeWire, man. Yeah, so that
But
mixtape
because
thing,
Currency was only good for a little bit of time.
what?
Archie, how do you not say Currency when it comes to mixtapes? Because when you talk about
Currency put out a
when you
lot
talk
of
about and what
albums.
Archie just asked, you have to see what's the outcome, right? 50 Cent, it launched him out of this world.
But see, you have to know what currency. You have to know the history. That's what I'm saying. We saw different things. Currency was dropping a new mixtape every month. He did that for a year,
Yeah, but
and it worked for
quality
him.
over quantity. I've heard Currency's mixtapes. Good. I'm not gonna
Currency's
lie
a
to you. They're good.
legend, though. He's a legend. That's what I'm saying. It's regional. It's regional,
It is regional.
and you
It
don't
is regional.
smoke. You're not about that jet life, so
No,
you
no,
ain't.
no, no, no. In fact,
Hey, hey, I know
I
that
gotta
came from
bow out
Vinny.
because
Vinny, he he don't
I ain't gonna hold you.
he don't
The first
understand the
time I heard
pilot
something that was
talk.
chopped and screwed, I almost threw that shit out my window.
And see, that's Texas. That they love that.
That shit sound like my fucking Walkman was dying.
Screw music is beautiful in the right situation.
No, never. The reason niggas in the East Coast will never fuck with the shit is because we used to walk or go for bus,
That's
train,
the
whatever,
Jersey
with your Walkman.
bias.
You got your headphones. When your batteries die, it's the worst shit in the world. So you make a whole genre of music based on batteries dying. Now, obviously, it's not your batteries dying. You're doing something else to slow it down. But that's what it's the outcome is the same. Yo, I'm slipping slow with my. That's my batteries dying.
Shout out to Michael
I'm never gonna
Watts.
be
Shout
cool
out
with
to
that.
DJ Screw. Shout out to Paul Wall, Mike Jones.
Facts. But it's a way of life. Because when you go to Texas, there's not all that walking. They don't do the amount of
That's like in New
leg work
Orleans.
New York and Jersey niggas do.
Bounce music is the thing down here. You know, so it's
And
regional.
you can't knock it. That regional shit does make a difference. This is why Jay-Z, I thought Jay-Z was a super legend. But once I got in my first career and went around the country, I started to see, yeah, people know of Jay-Z. Yeah, some people don't. Like, we don't know him. Like, nigga,
But see,
who?
that's what worked for the game. The game was a West Coast artist, but he didn't sound like he was from the West Coast.
Shit, and me.
That first album don't sound like a West Coast album.
Yeah, because 50's fingerprints are
Yeah,
all
he
over
don't
it.
sound like he's from the West Coast, and that worked because he was able to cover more. So again, we can get in.
And it's just like 50. 50 has a very southern drawl compared to most East Coast artists. So
I've been
with West Coast
patiently
beats,
waiting for a track to explode on it.
yo, oh my
That
god.
down.
50's if 50 dies after his first album gets released and the second album comes out afterwards posthumously, 50 is the greatest artist of all time. He did what
Massacre is
Big could
fire.
never do.
50.
He did what Big never did. You know what I'm saying? Like Big was big, period. But
We know this is a
50,
wrestling podcast, but sometimes we take turns, and we appreciate y'all
yo,
for
we
rocking with us.
gotta talk that hip hop shit. If you're not into hip hop, I'm sorry. Talk to me
I mean,
about
one of the
From.
hosts
Talk to me
is
about Marvel Comics.
one of the
Hit
best
me up
battle
with some
rappers in the
DC
world,
questions.
and he works
Let's
on the show Power
hey,
with 50 Cent.
let's talk stock and crypto. We can talk all that shit. I'm very versed, you know what I mean? Y'all hear the
Speaking
intellectual.
of, crypto is doing very well right now. So
I know, brother. I'm in my account every day looking.
let me hold something.
I'm in my account every day looking.
All right,
If your
well,
money is not growing, I'm gonna tell you this. If you're
I'm
a
gonna
church
put
guy, cool, I'm not gonna knock you. But that same 10% or a different 10%, you should be investing in yourself, making your money grow for you. Put away for your future. If you're not putting away for you, I don't give a fuck if you work at Walmart for $14 an hour or $8 an hour. 10%, take that, live off the rest. I'm not gonna get into it no further.
And if you see me on
We can talk
OnlyFans, it's
finances.
because I didn't listen to King HP. Mind your business.
Yo, you know what my real name is? I'm gonna open a strip club for old bitches called geriatrics.
Man, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah,
We'll
man.
be back
But you
tomorrow
don't like it?
night.
Old bitches don't
Geriatric.
care if you got the six pack. That's why I get a
Geriatric.
bunch of I just get a bunch of random niggas like
Oh,
niggas.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
need to
man.
go see the
Get
review
niggas.
on what he's
O-
sipping because
Only thing you gotta do
it's
is make
kicking
sure they
in.
put lotion on, because
It's
niggas,
kicking in. Whatever he's sipping, I need to
nigga.
go watch the review on Hall Priest Universe because whatever it is, it's working. I don't know if it's working. So we'll see y'all tomorrow night for the NXT recap. We go live during the main event, just like we did tonight. So tap in, and if you got questions or something, bring it tomorrow, and we'll check it out. And we're gonna get up out of here. I'm the Archie Carter. That's King HP. I hope this week is good to you and good for you. And he talking about he don't like screw music, and he $8 an hour is crazy. People still get paid $8 an hour. Where?
I hope not. That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
That's tough. But
Eight dollars an hour, bro.
it. I remember in my job hunt, it was like with a degree, they was paying people like 13, $14. That's crazy. That's wild.
It's
But
only funny now because people make so much more, but
people becoming
geriatrics, yes.
people
We
becoming
trying to get these old.
millionaires from their cell phones. $8. I don't even know how you offer somebody that like as a company. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, back in the day, it made sense, but today, in
Yeah,
today's time,
yeah.
imagine.
In 1992, sheesh, that's
You know
tough.
how many hours you got to be at work to make what I like, my nigga. You got to damn near work of $8 an hour. After a
That's
10-hour day, you still ain't made $100.
that's we not shitting on nobody. Get your money. But $8 an hour from a job
You ain't
is
getting no money for $8 an hour, bro. $8 an
taxless.
hour, you need to cut that shit out. Send me your shit. I'll build you a resume. We go on Indeed. We'll go on LinkedIn. We'll build you a profile. There is no
Yeah, we
fucking
got it.
way.
Yeah, we helping the
You
community.
need
Hey,
help bad. Hit
if
me in the
you are
DM.
making less than $10 an hour, get with HP. He gonna write your resume. We gotta help our
I will do
people, man.
it. I will do. If you make less than $10 an hour, I will do it for free because you need it. And no shame. Support your family. But I brother.
We want y'all. We family. Attitude Era family. We want all our family
If
to.
you make less than $15 an hour, you better not have a membership here. And as much as I would love for you to have a membership here, but you can't afford it. I know you can't. $14 an hour?
Hey, some people good with money though.
True.
Some people
$14
go.
an hour?
Hey, I watched my mom do it with four of us, but it was a different time. The dollar worth
It
was
was a
worth
different
more.
time. $14 an hour? You work at 10-hour days of
And the
140.
holidays are coming up. I preach this every year. Don't go broke during the holidays.
Don't do it.
Because after the
Don't do it.
25th, which is Christmas, you have the 1st of January. Rent due. So yeah, be smart, be frugal. I'm very frugal. I am one of those people who
Yeah. A
I
lot of
had to
millionaires are
learn to be
frugal.
good with money. I had to learn to be good with money. A lot of mistakes, but I had to learn. And I know ain't nobody I can call. So when you had that pressure, hey, but yeah, so
Facts.
yeah. So we do appreciate y'all tuning in for this. Yeah, again, HP is very serious, by the way. If you're making less than, I'm gonna say
Yes.
$12 an hour, we're gonna bump it up.
Yes. $12,
HP,
I will help you
HP,
with your
and
resume.
no.
DM
Here's
me.
the thing. Here's the thing. We're going to help the people because we're gonna do this. And if you're making less than $12 an hour, and you are currently in search of better, right? You're actively in search of better job, better
Facts.
opportunity.
I'm not
Get
laughing at this either.
get with HP, and he'll help you fine tune your resume. That's what he do. And
Yes.
then he'll give you the
Yes.
resume. Then the rest is up to you. But if you go there and you fuck up an interview, hey,
Hey, I do interview. We'll do interview practice. There's websites I use. I'm not about to give them all away online, but you can see what you're worth in the marketplace. Also, you can see what you're worth in your marketplace in your zip code, because sometimes moving is a hack. Now, you have to put up money for the moving and stuff too, but sometimes moving is a hack because every zip code does not pay the same
That's why all
for
the New
what you're.
Yorkers moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honest. I'm down here in the South. I'm from Jersey, and I ain't going back.
You know what you
I
could get in Texas and Atlanta?
Yeah, I see what I got here. I'm good. I'm
But
good.
yeah,
I'm never
we
going
all
back to
about
Jersey.
helping people. I know we talk a lot on here, wrestling and whatever else, but if we do, if you need help, I actually work with a nonprofit organization, several of them actually, where we, got some things going on internationally. So yeah, we do help people. But again, that's a real offer. If you're making less than 12 to
Yes,
15
it's not a
and
fake
you
offer.
actively searching for a job and trying to better yourself in a situation, you need help with resumes and all that. HP will take your information, put you something real nice together, get it back to you, and hopefully that help you in your job search so you can, live a little better. That's all.
DM me on Twitter, KingHP82. It'll never make its way back to a podcast. It'll never. A lot of times we get too prideful in what we do, and I'll laugh at some shit on here, but I don't laugh about real life because I've
Oh
seen
no, we
people
don't,
lose.
and we don't put people business on the street. That's why you even got
Yeah,
to
that's
tell us
not
what you
about to
make. You might
happen.
not even fall into that range, but if you're trying to tighten up your resume and even maybe your
Yeah,
business
I'll definitely give
when
it a
you
look
talk
over
about
and we'll
business
see what we can do.
portfolios and all that, see that might come with a little price tag because HP ain't working for free. But the resume thing will hook you up. So, and we about to get up off here because guess what? Speaking of work, we all
Yeah,
got to
you
do something
tripping.
tomorrow. So, but we'll be back tomorrow night. NXT recap during the main
You
event.
know,
I'm the
funny
Archie
as fuck.
Carter. That's King HP. We see y'all later. You heard?